Good afternoon. Get y'all a little closer here. Hello, everybody joining on. Hope everybody's doing great on this Sunday afternoon. Hey, Louise. Hey, everybody. Well, welcome to Facebook Live Sunday here at the Beehive. We're going to be talking about scanning today. That's kind of a weird way to say it because some of us have Altair Meridians, but I'm going to kind of do a scanning on the Altair Meridian and also over on the Solaris. So those of you who have the Altair Meridian or the comparable brother machines or the Solaris Luminaire or the Destiny or Dream machines, this will all work for you. So we've kind of covered this before and we've had a lot of new members, so I wanted to kind of go back to it because it's a function that is really special to these machines. And if you're new to your machine and IQ Designer or My Design Center, this is a great tool to use, and you can have a lot of fun with it. You can create almost anything that you want. So I love this feature. It's really fun. I don't play with it as much as I should. However, I've started playing with it more and I really enjoy it. So again, if you're just joining on, welcome to Facebook Live Sunday. If you're new to the group, welcome to the group. This is a place of learning and sharing. We have a lot of fun and we're learning our machines. We're learning different aspects of our baby lock machines, but if you have a brother, a lot of these functions are the same. Now, if you don't have either or, it's okay. Stay on, and maybe you'll learn something that you can incorporate into your machine brand. Be it sewing, embroidery, you're going to learn some tips and tricks along the way, so hopefully you can learn some really cool stuff coming out of this group. Yeah, so welcome everybody. We did get a big spike of members recently, and every 250 members we do a big giveaway. So we're almost at 750. I didn't check the actual numbers today. However, we're almost at 750. So that is part of our 250 giveaway. So as soon as we hit 750, we're going to do another giveaway. I don't know what I'm going to give away yet, but we'll figure it out, right? So thank you for joining. If you're new, welcome to the group. It's a place of learning and it's a place of community as well. Now, I want to kind of go over something that I'm seeing happening, or I just want to talk about something I see that's happening on Facebook right now. A lot of people are deciding to, thanks Kathy, they're thinking about leaving Facebook. And I've seen some questions on some other groups about if these type of groups will be at another location, like a new social network or something like that. And here's my thought on that. I will be eventually doing YouTube videos and having them posted up on a YouTube group, not group, but page. And that's eventually. I'm still working. I just got my new camera, so I haven't had a chance to play with that. Been super busy these past couple weeks with classes. However, I am not going to entertain the idea of moving to another group, only because of time purposes. If you're new, my deal is that I have a lot of hats. And I am a National Baby Lock educator. Also, I work at a quilt shop. I do a lot of teaching, and I don't have as much time as I'd like, of course. So I am only going to keep a Facebook presence, and then I will be doing some YouTube type videos in the future, hopefully starting by the new year. So we will still be having private classes because we had so much fun in our last private class. They were my kind of my beta class, and it was a lot of fun. We had a great time. So I am working on something right now. It's up here, and I've just got to transfer it to the machines. And yeah, so we're going to have a new class coming up soon for a private class. Now, private classes are pay classes, if you're not familiar with that. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that, just in case I get the question on the group, I just wanted to go ahead and address that. So yeah, so welcome, welcome, welcome. To all of our new members, welcome back to all of our previous members. I appreciate you guys so much. So today we're going to talk about using the scanning feature that is built into our machines. Now, with that being said, the Altair Meridian, we don't really have a scanning feature. What we have is an app, and I'm going to consider that my scanning feature. The Solaris and Destinies, they actually have a camera built in. So that camera is considered our scanning feature. And we're going to work with that as well. So as usual, again, if you're new to the group, what I do is I first start out on, I have a Meridian. I start out on my Meridian, show you how to do the project or whatever I'm teaching on there, and then we jump over to the Solaris. So we're kind of twofold, and that way I can answer questions either way. So I'm just going to make sure there's no questions really quickly. All your highs and hellos, you guys are so amazing. I think I have the best group out there. But I guess I'm a little biased because you guys are all so amazing and so caring. Okay, so, well, let's talk about scanning. And what does that mean? Well, basically what scanning is you can take an image, you can take a anything that you really have that you want to take and turn into embroidery. Because we have this digitizer built into our machines, we have these great features that we can use, and we can also bring in outside elements. So be it a picture, be it a handwritten note, be it a something that your little one, be it a grandchild or a child, drew a picture or colored a picture, you can take that and scan it into the machine and then turn that into embroidery. Now, I don't have little ones in my life, but I am dying to have a little one color a picture for me and let me scan it in and turn it into embroidery so I can make a cute little pillow or something like out of it like that. Maybe I can go back and find my nieces. Yeah, they're quite old, but I think I still have some of their coloring pages. Oh, that just hit my brain. And turn that into embroidery. Now, the other fun thing that you can do, there's a lot of coloring books out there. There's tons of them, and they're all adult coloring books now. So they've got these beautiful designs in there. And we can take those and bring those in and turn those into embroidery. And not only just turn them into outline embroidery, but we can go in with our fill features and fill them in. So I think that's just adorable. So something like this, and this is going to be backwards on your screen. Yes, I know it's backwards, but when I turn the screen around, we'll look at it again. But what this says is dream, create, inspire. So what I did with it, what I did with this is, of course, I did this one on the Solaris, and I scanned it in using the scan mat, and then I stitched it out. So let's see here. Again, it will be backwards. So see, I stitched it out. And it's so cute. Now these are great because we can go in with our coloring markers and color them in. Now also what I can do is, I could have done was used my fill features in there. And yeah, Brenda, that's a good point. Not only with the scanning feature can we create, we can also use your scanning features, even if it's on the Altair Meridian, to, if your design or your project pops out of your hoop, we've all had that happen, you can go back, scan it in, and place that design directly back where it was. So yeah. Is that font on the Meridian? Kathy, no, good question. What I did was I have a picture of something I printed off of the internet and scanned it in. That's the font right there, or that's the design right there. Again, I know it's backwards. So, you know, we can do stuff like that. Another fun one that I did not design, and but I absolutely, this is one of my favorite things I have ever made in my entire life, is from Denise Schober. And if you are out there looking for other groups for Baby Lock educators, look up Denise Schober's, and I'll actually, you know what, I'll just put a link in later for you. And she's actually a phenomenal long arm quilter, and but she also uses her IQ Designer, and she designed this little one I'm about to show you, and it was all, you know, using IQ Designer. But you can do this with a scanned image as well. And there is a hashtag that we at Baby Lock use, and it's called Sew In This Together. So it's going to be backwards, so don't worry about the lettering. But see this rainbow? I'm going to show you how to do this off of a scanned image. And if you personally know me, you got to know that I absolutely love color, and I love rainbows, and I love unicorns, and I love, you know, all kind of girly stuff. And so this was right up my alley. And, you know, this could be off of a printed image. I'm also going to use this one today. This is real pretty. So you Destiny owners may have seen this before. This is just something that Baby Lock had offered at one time to learn how to use the scanning feature, and it's really pretty, and so I'm going to use that as well to show you. And then I have a bunch of other ones that are actually only pictures in my camera that I'm going to show you how to use. So with that being said, the first thing we're going to do is jump over to the Meridian, and we're going to talk about scanning with the Meridian Altair. Now again, if you have the Brother comparable, and I'm sorry I don't know the names, machine, this will work for that. Now remember, the Solaris and the Destiny are going to be a little bit different, and we're going to jump to that in just a little bit. So let's get you over to the Meridian and let's get to work. Actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take you over to my table so we can look at the iPad first. Because with the Altair Meridian, we have to use an app to shoot over an image. So we're going to do that first. So let's do that. So again, if you're new to the group, I have to apologize. I'm going to pick up my camera and move it over. So if you get dizzy, just close your eyes for a couple seconds and then we should be good to go. Okay, Michelle says, and Michelle, you're absolutely right. Here we go. So let me flip this camera around so you can see my dirty room, or not dirty, my messy room. Michelle said, so if the Solaris can do both scanning and pictures with the upgrade, is one better than the other? No, they both work fabulous. And I'll do that when we get to the Solaris. I'm going to show you both ways anyways. So we'll get to that. I have to move something out of the way here, so I can get you right to where I want to. Okay, so let's take a look at my iPad here. And let's turn that light off so it's not annoying. Okay, so there we go. I can see myself. Hey, self. And I'm going to get my iPad warmed up. And what I'm going to do is go find my app. Now, we're going to use the Meridian here. I guess I have to turn it this way. And let's see. We'll put it, prop it up on some fabric here so we all can see what's happening here. Okay, so what I first need to do is make sure, because mine is connected to just the Solaris, so I want to make sure that it is, you know what I have to do? Is wake it up. And make sure my connection is on. So let's start that over, because we should see Mabel pop up. Now my machines, I have them, their names. They're Sunshine and Mabel. So what it's doing is trying to find Mabel, and it's not wanting to find Mabel. So let me go out and then go back in. And while that's booting up, let me see. Is the Altair the same as the Meridian? Dory, good question. Well, kinda. The Altair and Meridian both have the same functions, except the Altair has the sewing aspect as well as the embroidery aspect. The Meridian is embroidery only. Let's see if we can find, there's Mabel. So you won't have to do this unless you have two machines like I do, so don't worry about what I just did. Okay, so let's say that I want to, let's go out here and I'm going to type in, I'm going to Google, and I want to do a line art something of something. So let's see, let's do a duck. So I'm going to go, I want to create something with a little duck on there, and I'm going to type in duck clip art. And I like the black and white ones because they work so much better. So I'm then just going to select black and white, and I'm going to go, oh gosh, there's already so many cute ones. I'm going to go and find the one that I want. And the first one I see is this little guy right here because he's super cute. So I'm going to select him, and depending on what tablet you use, you're going to save this picture to your pictures. So I'm going to click on, well, you know what? I'm not going to click on him. What I'm going to do, if you're on an Apple iPad, you can press and hold, and a little thingy will come up on the side, a little menu, and you can go add to photos. So, okay, he's super cute. So I have got that now saved into my photos. Again, if you have a different tablet, I'm not quite sure how you save pictures from the internet, so you may have to do a little research. Okay, so I saved him, and I want to turn him into embroidery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back out to my app, and I'm going to look under IQ Designer. You have two options here. The first one is basically if you're going to take a picture of your hoop frame. And remember, our hoop frames for our Meridian or our Altair, they have sensors on them. But we're not going to do that. What we are going to use is select image for creating design. And once I tap on that, what it's going to do is pull up all the pictures that I have saved onto my iPad. So I'm going to select that little duck, and then I'm going to select send to the machine. And when it's ready, it's going to say, hey, Anna, I sent that to your IQ Designer. And I'm going to say, okay. And now I can just put this away and go over to my Meridian. So I'm going to turn you around. Here we go. And here is Mabel. If you're new to the group, this is Mabel the Meridian. And I'm going to squish you down just a little bit, so bear with me here. Marilyn says, why not downloads? I don't know. I guess I've always just saved it to my pictures. You can totally try saving it to your downloads and see if that works. That's not a big deal. So good question, Marilyn. As long as you can pull it up. But you know what? It may, you know why? You know what? Now I'm thinking about it, Marilyn. what happens is, let me bring my iPad in. Once I select this, oh, excuse me, cancel. So, you know what? I don't think you can use your downloads now that I think about it, because if I go to select an image, it only pulls up my picture, where all my pictures are. So you can see here I have pictures of project, like a picture I took of a project that we're doing at the shop or something like that. So it's actually just coming out of your pictures there. Is it saving and picks in as a JPEG? I'm not sure how the iPad or iPhone or Apple, how they save it. It doesn't really matter because you're taking it straight from your app, and the app does, I guess, gets it ready for whatever it needs to be, Kathy. Okay, so what I'm going to do here, I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit. Here we go. Now, let's say I want to turn that little duck into embroidery. Well, let's see what we can do with that. I think it'll be super cute, especially if you've got a little one on the way. And okay, so what we're going to do is, remember, it said a moment ago, Anna, I sent that over to IQ Designer, and I'm going to go, okay, when I come over to my Meridian, I'm going to select my IQ Designer. Now, if you're new to your machine and you're looking at your machine and you don't have the exact same machine that I'm on and it looks a little different, IQ Designer may look a little different. And that's actually okay. The functions are the same, they just may look a little different. So you're just going to look for kind of the same icons that I have. Now, what I need to do in this instance, I wirelessly sent over my duck. And now what I need to do is turn him into embroidery. And my idea with that is I'm going to make him an outline and then fill him in with stitches. So let's watch how to do that. It's really fun. So the first thing I want to do is I want to select Line Design. And then it's going to ask me, hey, Anna, where are you bringing in that line design from? From a USB? Or from Wi-Fi? Well, I'm bringing it in from Wi-Fi. So if you're using a computer and you saved, and you can do this, you can save that picture onto your USB and place it into your machine. You could select that little guy right there. But I'm using Wi-Fi. So I'm going to tap my Wi-Fi button, and the last thing that you brought in will always be at the top. So we're going to select that. And right here, there's my little duck. So I'm going to hit set. Okay. And these little guys, let's say they had some writing or some other lines or something like that on there, and you just really wanted to capture the duck. Really, these are what these lines are for. So you can kind of come in and basically just segregate the duck itself. So I'm going to select OK. And there he is. Now, looking at him, he's got some weirdness going on. That's because nothing in the world is perfect. When we bring something in, it doesn't mean there's something wrong with the image. It's just the computer inside of the machine is going to see a lot more than our eye is going to see. So we're going to go in and erase some things. And I'm totally okay with that. So I'm going to say, okay, this looks fine. And I'm going to hit set. Now it'll always show me a background image. So I'm going to turn this background image off by using the keys right here. These are my lighter and darker keys. And what they're used for is for the image in the background, the image that you're basically copying. So I'm going to turn it down so we can just see the line on my duck. Okay, so now we just see the line on my duck. I'm going to turn you just a hair. There we go. Okay. Now what I want to do is I can actually play with the size here if I want to right at this moment. That's the first thing I would play with. It just makes it a lot easier if the first thing you do is play with the size. So I'm going to come here into my size icon. And I'm just going to make him a little smaller because he's kind of big. So he is 9.26 by 8.24. So I'm just going to make him smaller, maybe around 5 inches or so, because I can. There we go. Well, he's a little bit bigger, but that's fine. I can see him just fine. And I'm going to select OK. Now, this is where the fun begins. And especially if you like to create and you really like to fine-tune things, this is where you can come in and really fine-tune what everything looks like. Aha, Shirley, I knew someone's going to ask me. Yeah, this has been one of our favorite Forever BB Louise pins, isn't it, ladies? A lot of you have this stylus pin. We love this. This is an actual stylus pin that was designed to be used with these machines, and you can get them, and I will make sure I make a post. My dear friend, Gloria Horn, has a shop and she sells them, and I will make sure to post a link and a separate link in the group tonight to where you can buy this. It's inexpensive, and the great thing about it is when you buy through her, you're supporting small business. So good question. Since we have new users, I always get that question. I love this thing and it's pink. Okay, so I got my LQS to order some, and they were sold. Oh, your local quilt shop ordered some too? Oh my gosh, really, Brenda? I didn't know. I need to see if we can get some at our shop too. I need to really take this up to Debbie and say, hey, order a bunch of these. Because, yeah, true. They're great. Okay, so let's do this. So I'm going to zoom in and just zoom in a little bit, because I'm going to zoom into 200, because I want you to notice that there's some things that I'm going to take out. Do you see like this little there, and that's really a word, and some little pieces here and little pieces there? I'm going to go in there and erase those because I don't want that little whatever's happening. So I'm going to come here, and this is your line property grouping. You have 2 groups basically of 4 icons, and if you're on the Solaris, it's 5 icons. But so the top one right here with these 4 icons is your line properties. This bottom one right here are your fill properties. So we're going to go, I'm sorry, I need to back up. We actually need to erase first, but keep these 2 in mind here. But what we want to do is go grab our eraser. So I am going to select right here. And I'm going to select whatever eraser I like. I can do it in a square, a small, medium, large, circle, same thing. I like the medium square. It's just the one that I really love. So I'm going to zoom in. And the reason why I'm going to zoom in really close is so I can see exactly where I'm going to erase. Now you can barely see, but I have a red box right up here around the area that I'm in. And if you're in the Altera Meridian, this is how you pan around. You use that little box to pan wherever you need to get. Okay, so I want to erase this little V shape right here. So I'm just going to bring up my eraser and start erasing those little, basically they end up being little pixels. So let's come above so you can see it. And see why I like the square one, because your pixels are square, so I can come in and get really close and click on something. But I want you to notice something else. Can you see right here that there's a break in the line? I personally know that's going to cause me trouble. And so especially when I go to fill the item. So what we want to do at this point is come right here. See right here? I want to grab this pencil, and now I can come in and draw or connect those together. Now I didn't do a great job. This is where I would use a mouse. And let me grab my mouse and I'll show you how to work that. Now I've got a little mouse that I did get from Amazon for like $7, and you have to have a plug mouse. You cannot use a wireless mouse. So I'm just going to back that up by using my back button. There we go, make that go away. Okay, so what I can do, oops, let me get some stuff out of the way. What I can do with my mouse, once I get it plugged in, make sure this guy is selected and come in here and take and draw that little line. Now that's going to be important, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But let's move around and find some more lines to erase. Okay, we're at his mouth, and I want to erase these right here. So I'm just going to come in and erase those little lines. There we go. Now what I did is I accidentally broke a line, so I can always go back like this. There we go. And I'm going to use this to pan over. And I'm going to get rid of this line and this line and this line. So when I use my eraser this time, I'm going to click on it and go smaller. There we go. Now I can get in there. And when, you know, these will all be stitch lines. So I'm erasing what I do not want to be stitched. I'm even going to go inside of the beak here and get rid of these little extra lines because we don't need these little extra lines. What do we need them for? Now I'm going to kind of come over here to his eye. And see all this little scraggliness? I'm just going to go ahead and get rid of it. It may not be super attractive, but we'll find out a little bit later how that's going to look. Okay, and then I'm going to come down at the bottom here. I'm going to take my red box and drag it down to the bottom and get rid of this double line here. So I'm just going to use my eraser and get rid of it. Oh, I broke my line. So when I say I broke my line, that will cause us problems later. So you can always use your undo button, and there we go. And if you use the circle or square eraser, that's totally up to you. And now I'm going to zoom out and just take a look and see how it looks. Oh, I missed a little area right here. So I want to zoom in, come up to here, and I like to get really close. And it's totally up to you if you like to or not. I keep breaking those lines. That's actually good for you because now you're going to get used to backing it up. So I actually, if you're new to the group, I always tell you guys, I love making mistakes in front of you because that way it shows you how to fix those mistakes. And it also shows you that nothing in the world is perfect. All right, here we go. There it is. He's so cute. Okay, I'm super happy with him now. I'm going to zoom in just a little bit so we can kind of see what's happening. So now what I have is the outline, but be forewarned, if I were to go ahead and start taking this into embroidery, as a default, these lines are satin stitch. So I want to turn them into a running stitch because I don't want it to be a satin. If you want it to be a satin, awesome. So what I'm going to do is now we're going to come to those line properties right here. And I'm going to select this little piece of paper icon. And this is my line properties area. Can you add lines anywhere I want? Yeah, girl, you can do whatever you want. That you are the boss of your machine, so you can totally use that little pencil icon, come in there and add whatever you want, of course. So what I'm going to do is, right now it is on satin stitch, and I want my outlines to be a running stitch. So I am going to select that, and I'm going to select a separate color than black. And the reason why is so I know I got the lines. It's not that it's going to stitch out in that, it's just I want to be able to see that I made sure I changed my line. So I'm going to select this blue color right here, and I'm going to select OK. Now the most important thing is, from here, I have to select my bucket. So I'm going to select my bucket, and I'm going to tap all the lines. So I'll turn this one, and you can see it turn to blue. I'm going to tap this one. You can see it turn to blue. And I'm going to tap this one, and it turned to blue. Now I'm going to zoom over to his mouth to make sure all those lines got changed. Right here. Perfect. Everything did. Now, Let's have a little fun. Let's add some fills to this. And if you're new to your machine and you're not sure what the fills are, you have multiple fills to play with. So not only do you have satin fills, you have fun fills. Now this is just one of the many fills that you have. So let's have fun with our duck. So the first thing, let's play with his beak. And I think what I want to do with this beak is make him a full fill and just do an orange color right there. So now I'm going to use my fill icon box right down here with the 4 icons. I'm going to select my piece of paper and I'm going to select an orange color. Now, when I look here, right here, these are all your fill properties. So this is your satiny fill stitch. This is your stipple stitch. If I tap this guy, these are all your extra fills, but we're just going to leave it on the satiny one. I'm going to select OK, and now I have to select my bucket. If I don't select my bucket, what happens when I come in here to go fill his beak is I literally have to paint on all that on, and that is a pain, I promise. So let's select our bucket. Let's tap inside of his beak. There we go, and the bottom. Perfect. The next thing I want to do is I'm going to take his eye and just fill that in with black. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come over to my piece of paper. I'm going to select the black color and select OK and make sure my bucket is on and tap inside. There we go. Now let's have fun with fills. Let's give him a fun fill body. So we know he's going to be yellow because, you know, little rubber ducky ducks should be yellow. They're just so cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is go back into my fill section and I'm going to go find a fun fill. So this right here is our fun fills. And I'm going to select, and that way I'm able to find all the fills that I want. And I can play with any of these. So let's see. I think for him, I want him, oh, how cute, little roses. Let's make him a rosy duck. So I'm going to click on those roses and select OK. And now I'm going to select a yellow color. And I'm going to select OK. I want to make sure my bucket is on, and I'm going to tap inside of his body here. Now, of course, he's not going to have that greeny gray behind it. It's just they put that background behind it so you can really see what it's going to look like. But let's make his wing a different fill. So let's go back into our fills. We'll still use the same yellow and hit select. And maybe have the little, maybe the little fish would be cute. I don't know. Let's just try it and see. And making sure that my bucket is still on, I'm going to tap in here, and then there we go. Now from here, if I was completely happy with him, all I would have to do is go to next. Now, this is up to you. No, before I say go to next, if you want to change anything about him, what you want to do is save him to the machine. So otherwise you're going to, if you mess up or you don't like what you got, you're going to have to rebuild him. So let's save him to the machine. Now with the Altair Meridian, you're going to have a pocket that has an arrow going in. So we're going to click that and save him to the machine. That way I can go back and pull him up, because right now at this point, he is basically a drawing. We're about to push the button to say, hey, turn him into stitches. So we want to keep this in here so that way we can go edit him if we want to. So let's hit next. And here's where I can change different aspects of the fills. So right now it is highlighting, or you can see the brighter color right there. This is where I can come in and change the size of that those flowers. So I'm actually, since he's small anyways, going ahead and going to take that down to about 50%. and hit set. You won't see anything until we go to the next screen, so that's okay. I'm going to arrow over. That is a satin stitch, so I'm not going to mess with that. That's a satin stitch, that's a satin stitch, but now for his wing, I'm actually going to take and make that 50%, hit set, but I'm going to change the direction. I'm going to go into direction, and it's going to change in different degrees, so I'm going to try about 45 degrees and see. Okay, let's hit set and preview. And when I hit preview, it's going to let me know, hey, this data will not be saved. Are you sure you want to continue? That's why we saved it. So I'm going to select OK and just see what he looks like. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Let me zoom in, guys. It's a lot of work or a lot of stitching, but look how cute he is with the little fish wings and those little roses. Okay, I'm saving this and stitching it out. He is so stinking cute. Let me zoom out for you. Okay, so see, it really is easy to take an outline of something off the internet, off of whatever, or maybe someone drew it for you and turn it into embroidery. So now I would just hit set and embroider him out. Oh, he's so cute. So I am going to make sure I save him as an embroidery because I want to stitch him out. And I'm going to save it to my machine just by using memory. So let me go back to your question. So Kathleen said, what if you wanted to make him partially applique, like his body and his wing? You can totally do that. I do have a video on that. I'm not quite sure which number it is, but yes, you can totally do that. I love making appliques. It's a few more steps. It would take a little bit more time, but yes, we have, and you know, guys, I told you I was going to make y'all a list. I'll make sure I make you a list of all the videos. All my videos are numbered from 1 to right now to 19. Woo, we have 19 now. They each have a name. And on last week's episode or last week's video, I went through how to find my videos. So make sure to watch that so you can go back. How would you send him to a USB stick? Well, let's do that, Ronnie. Where'd I put it? Okay, so I've got my little USB. Boop, boop, boop. I'm going to place it into the machine. And if I go to memory, Kathy, yes you can, girl. You can applique on, we can make our own appliques on the Meridian. Yes, girl, yes we can. Okay, so Ronnie, okay, so I hit memory and I just select USB and now it's on there. So if I go home, and I go to back to embroidery, and I go to my USB stick, he's going to be, should be in the B pocket, and there he is right there. So yes, you can always save it to your USB stick. Okay, let me go back through your say perfect. I'll look for okay. Could you put a darker stitch around the wing to highlight it? Absolutely, Lynn. Let's go back. Remember I saved him? So let's do this. I'm actually going to close this out. So because I saved him, I can now go change him. And because I saved him inside of IQ Designer. So in order to pull him back up, I'm going to go to the pocket that has the arrow coming out. And I saved it to my machine. And there he is. So watch this. Okay, so I know we can barely see his wing here. So let's zoom in a little bit so we can see that dark line. I can actually go into my my line properties. I'm going to click on that. And let's say I could do a triple stitch. I could even do a candle wicking. So let's do a candle wicking around his wing. And I'm going to select, I'll just select that same dark blue color and select OK. And I want to make sure that my bucket inside of my line properties, not my fill properties, but my line properties is selected. And I'm going to tap that line. Remember, you won't see anything happen. until we go to next and preview and okay. So let's see what happens. There we go. So now, that would even be cuter. Now he'll have a little candle wicking wing. But of course, you could do a candle wicking around the whole thing. You can do whatever you want. This is your baby. You can make it anything you want. Okay, let's see, thanks for some reasons. Thanks, for some reason mine doesn't transfer. I'm not, well, make sure, Ronnie, make sure you're looking in the B pocket. So let's go back to that because I've gotten a lot of questions on that before. If you save a design, yeah, he is, Kathleen. If you save a design to your USB from your machine, always make sure you go to your B pocket and he'll be in your B pocket. Super cool, huh? I mean, yeah, I'm so excited. I love playing with these. Quack, quack. I made my duck. He's a bit off screen, but I know when I rewatch this, I will catch the hiccup. Oh, thanks, Cookie. Okay, let's see what else we can do. Okay. So not only with that, you know, we'll do another one. I'm going to grab my iPad and show you another one here. Just a black and white one, so we can do this. Okay, cancel. So I've got my app pulled up. I'm going to select image, and I am going to select this Dream Create Inspire one that I downloaded from the internet. So there was an error on that one. So okay, let's do the pumpkin. So we'll just tap on the pumpkin. That is a super cute pumpkin I found out there in the internet world, and hit send to the machine. And when it's done, it's going to say okay. So I'm going to say okay, and let's go find it. I'm sorry, I'm just reading y'all's funny comments. Put your ducks in a row. You're so funny. Dory, oh, so you're really new, girl? Oh, welcome to the brainwashing of embroidery because you're going to be addicted. Yeah, you know what? Dory, I'll pull that up and I'll show you here in just a moment. Let me go through this one first and then we'll go back through that. Absolutely. Okay, so I sent that pumpkin over, and you know we're big into pumpkins right now because pumpkins are the cutest thing ever for fall. So let's go to IQ Designer, and we're going to do the line design again. So let's select line design. And remember, since I sent him through my iPad, I'm going to use the Wi-Fi. And then he's going to be this little, the last one will always be at the top. And we're going to select, or make sure he's selected. Michelle, that's hysterical. Okay, Dory, here's a welcome from Michelle for you. Welcome to a full craft room and an empty wallet. Girl, do we all not feel that? Okay, so let's hit set. But this one, okay, well, actually, I'm just going to leave this one as is. And the other thing is, I'm just going to hit set. The other thing is I'm going to leave this as a satin stitch. I want to see what this will look like with everything as a satin stitch. So really, I'm not going to change a thing, because remember, when we bring it in, the first thing that it applies to all the lines are satin stitch. So let's just see what it looks like. I'm going to select next and preview just so I can see first what it looks like. Oh my gosh, I love it. That is so stinking cute. I would stitch that out in a heartbeat on something. Okay, but let's say I didn't like that. Now here's how we can fix how if you don't like what it looks like. Before you hit set, and again, this is on the Altair Meridians, before you hit set, you can always return. If you hit set, you cannot return. You know what, guys, the pumpkin, I'll post it on the page, guys, so y'all can use this pumpkin. I'm going to select return, and now I could go and make that satin stitch smaller or larger or wider, or I could even go back and change those stitches to single stitch, running stitch. But let's just hit preview, and let's say I was happy with him. And now once I hit set, it's going to say, hey Anna, I'm about to leave IQ Designer. Are you okay with this? Because you can't go back. Did you save it? No, I didn't save it, but that's okay. I'm only going to stitch it out once. So I'll select OK, and then I can just go to embroidery and stitch it out. Okay, so it seems like y'all like this pumpkin, so I'll post it up. Okay. Now, let me answer Dory's question here, guys, because she's new to embroidery, and you all remember when we were all new to embroidery, we were like, what? So, Dory, I'm just going to select a design that has not a whole lot of colors here. So, this is just a built-in design here. And once you pull the design up, you're just going to hit set. And this is your editing screen right here. So this is where I can go in and change the size, I can rotate it, I can move him, I can add different things. So from this point, if you were just happy with the way he is, it's always going to show you the color stitch out on this. But before you can do embroidery, you have to select the word embroidery at the bottom. Okay? And then what it's going to do is it's going to let you know right here what's going to happen. So the first thing that it's going to tell you up here is how many stitches you have. Right next to that, it's going to tell you how long that's going to take, and then how many color changes you will have. So you have 8 color changes. Right here, this will tell you which of your hoops it'll fit in. It'll start at the 4x4, go all the way up to the largest. And then your size. Now, when you're done, when you start stitching, when you put your hoop on the machine and you push the go button and get everything to start stitching, it's going to show you, hey, we're stitching this out first. And I'm just going to do something, this is not what's going to happen, but I'll show you what happens next. Next, it'll show you, hey, I'm going to stitch out the inside of the eyes next. Then, let's go to the next color. Then the inside blue. Then the little happy face. Then the inside teeth. Then the last, the little outlining of the lips. And then his little happy marks. I don't know what to call that. And then it's the last one will be right in the inside of his eyes. So yes, Dory, it will guide you along. So each time it stops, it's going to say it's going to stop, and you'll change the color. So yeah, oh yes, it'll stop after each color, so you can change your thread. Absolutely, it will. So hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. But there are some great videos. Make sure if you just bought your machine and you just bought a Baby Lock, you should have gotten a 60-day free trial to the Sew Ed classes, which are online. And you know, a lot of times I've seen happen is people will sign in and maybe wait 30 days to watch it, or maybe wait 45 days to watch it. Start watching it. Start watching it. Start watching it. Never put a hoop on yet either. Well, with the Baby Locks, they're not so picky about having the hoop on, to be honest with you. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, girl. Let me tell you. Okay, let's talk about that. Let me flip it around. Okay, let's talk about the Sew Ed classes really quick. If you've got a 60-day free trial, it's not going to hurt to watch them. They have some great classes on your particular machine. Not only that, If you're new to embroidery, they have some great classes on picking the right stabilizer and the Altair. Okay, good, perfect. The right stabilizer, the right threads, all that. Watch as many as you can, even if it's not for your machine. And a good one for you to watch, Dory, for all you Altair owners, is watch the Destiny videos, because it's very similar. That machine's very similar to the Altair. So you're going to get a lot of insight. What I do is I know I can watch one an hour a night, you know, right before I'm going to bed, or when I'm in bed, I can watch one for an hour and I'm done. So definitely check those out. They're so there to help you out, and they're amazing. So make sure you check those out. If we never knew about the SEW classes, and Baby Lock can see, Christy, what you want to do is get with your dealer who sold you the machine. That is the best way to go about getting that done. Brenda, if you still have that card, as soon as you sign on and you put your serial number in, that 60 days starts. So if you haven't started it yet, yeah, you should be able to. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah. So I'm just going to zoom through here real quick and make sure I didn't miss any questions. And now we're going to jump over to the scanning frame for the Solaris / Destiny / Luminaire. You could embroider it out and then color it with Inktense pencils. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. See, that's the cool thing with these black and white clip arts. You can go in and color. Kind of like I did my Zandra Shaw one. I used the tulip markers on. So yeah, you can do that too. It's really fun. A lot of fun. Someone who is amazing at it, and you need to go join her group, is Lisa Knight, and it's Las Vegas Sew Girl is her group, and she actually is amazing at coloring. So make sure to go join her group and watch hers. They're beautiful, and she teaches you how to do it too, which is really super cool. So fill the wing in with feathers. Ooh, that'd be kind of fun, wouldn't it? Okay, so now we're going to jump onto the Solaris. So let's see what we can do with that. Because now, yeah, okay, we'll talk about that in a second. So let me get you over there. And I'm going to move you, so if you get dizzy, just go ahead and hang on for just a moment. You can open your eyes here in just a moment. Here's the little girl. And I'm going to make it a little bit shorter too, so give me a split second. So we can get in there nice and tight. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Michelle. Thanks. Las Vegas Sew Girl. And Sew Girl is 2 words, not 1. Of course, Dory. That's what we're here for. We are here to learn. Oh, Judy. Judy, I'll check on you. Have a safe trip, and my thoughts are with you, Judy. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's talk about, I'm actually going to put it to the home, and let's talk about scanning with the Solaris. I'm going to take a quick little sip here. Okay. Now, yeah, Georgia, they just started the SEWED, the free 60-day on the SEWED. You may want to contact your dealer to see if you can get in on that. Okay, so here's the thing with the Solaris. When you bought your Solaris, and I'll zoom out, you probably, and well, I shouldn't say you probably, you did get one of these. This is a scan mat. So it looks like it's the hoops where it has the little slide. It's a flat board. It's got 6 magnets. And if you have a Destiny, you have one of those as well. But if you upgraded to the Solaris 2, which mine is the Solaris with the Solaris 2 upgrade, you can use your scan mat, or you can use the app to send the designs over. So we'll go through both of those, but in general, if you don't have the app, or excuse me, the Solaris 2 or the Solaris 2 upgrade, this is how you're going to do your scanning. So here we go. And I've got a couple here. Let me see, what did I decide to do? Let's do my pretty girl. I love this one. So we're going to scan her in. Just this pretty girl here. And all we have to do... Now, you don't have to use all 6 magnets. It depends on what I'm doing, how many I use to hold it into place. So all we're going to do is take and place her on the mat. And I'm just going to use 2 magnets. And I'm going to kind of just try to keep them out of the design as much as possible. You don't want anything overlapping the design period. That's going to cause you problems. So right now I just have my girl just hanging on, but with 2 magnets. Let me put these to a place I know I won't lose them. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and place her on the machine just like I would if I were placing an embroidery hoop onto the machine. Just slide it on, making sure I close the door. And now I'm going to go to my IQ Designer. So I select IQ Designer. I'm going to grab my mouse. I love my mouse. Okay. And with this, it's going to be kind of the same way as we did on the the Meridian, which is basically the Altair. Okay? I am going to select this little leaf here. Now, on the machine I showed you before, we saw where it said Line Design. And I believe on the Destiny, you'll see where it says Line Design. But on the Solaris, you're going to just see a little leaf. So let's just select that little leaf. And now I can see Line Design. Now, what is Image Scan? Image Scan, really quickly, let me do Jeanette, you have My Design Center, which is basically the same thing as IQ Designer. So yes, but it's called a different name. Okay, so Image Scan is basically just going to take a picture of it and show it up here. And you can use that in there's different things to use that, but you're not going to get any stitches out of it. So we're going to select Line Design, and then we're going to select the word Scan. And it's going to say, hey, you ready to go? I'm going to say, heck yeah, I'm ready to go. So I'm going to let it take a picture of my beautiful girl there. All right, she's all ready. So I'm going to come over here now. And one other thing I'm going to do, guys, is I'm going to turn off the light in the background. Always forget to do that. There we go, much better. Okay, so we can see her better. Okay, there she is. Now you're going, oh, good gracious, there's these big green blobs. It's okay. because I'm going to show you how to get rid of those, because those are not going to show up because we selected the word line design. What you may see is an outline of them. But I'm just going to bring my little red guy in here. There we go. And let me show you something really cool on the Solaris that I absolutely love. So remember when I was talking about the Meridian and I said it brings everything in as a satin stitch. Well, this one we can override that at this particular screen right here where we don't have to go and tap every line. What I can do is come right down here. See this little guy, this little box right here, and tap it, and then tap on whatever I want her outline to be. So let's do a triple running stitch because we can, and we're just going to select OK, and now I'm going to select OK again. And what you're going to see now is an outline. Do you see all these icky little outlines here? That's just going to show up because of our hoop, or excuse me, our frame. See that? That's from our frame. This is from our magnets. What do I care? I've got an eraser that I'm gonna make work. Okay, so I'm going to hit set, and I'm going to, now my my icons for lightening and darkening in the background are at the top, so I'm going to make sure that disappears. And now I'm going to get rid of everything that I don't want just by using my eraser. So I'm going to get rid of these lines and these lines. So I'm going to select my eraser, and it does look a little different than what you saw a moment ago. And I'm going to, remember I like the square, I'm going to make him a little bigger. And I'm going to select OK. So now I can just go in and get rid of all those lines that I don't want. And I can zoom in and all that, but these are easy to see. I can really get in there and just do it from this point. So everything I don't want, I can get rid of. And be careful, make sure you get everything. I'm not sure, let me see if I zoom in for you. Let's zoom in to about 200%. When you zoom in on the Solaris, you have to use the hand to pan around. Now, can y'all see that little dot? If I leave that, it's going to stitch out. So I need to make sure I take that out. And I'll select OK, and let's zoom back out. Okay, there she is. Oh, she's so pretty. Now what I want to do with her is play with those fills like I did over on my duck. So I think I'm going to leave her lips as a full, what I call a satin stitch or a fill stitch. And again, we have those functions that we have on the Meridian like I was showing. This box up here is all your line properties. And this box right here is all your fill properties. So I'm going to go to my little piece of paper. I'm going to make sure my fill button is selected. And I'm going to choose a pink. I must confess, I do not like the color red, so I try to use it as less as possible. Don't ask me why, I'm just not a red girl. And I'm going to select my bucket. And I'm going to tap inside of her lips. No, how cute. Now I'm going to turn her hat into a fill. So I'm going to go back to that little piece of paper, and I'm going to go find some fancy fills by selecting this button and hit select. Now with the upgrade, I have 42 fills. Depending on what machine you have, you're going to have a different amount of fills. So I can go in here and find whatever I want. Let's see, what would be pretty for her hat? Let's do, like this basket weave type of, let's just see what it looks like. So I'm going to select that, and I'll select maybe a brown color and select OK. Make sure my bucket is selected, and I'll tap her hat here and here. But now I need to do the inside. Now I could tap it with that there, but maybe I want it to be a little bit darker brown for shading or a little bit lighter brown for shading. So I'm going to select the piece of paper again, and let's go find, I'll do a lighter brown. same fill, but I'm just changing the color, making sure my bucket is selected, and I'll tap there. Now I want to see her little collar, or it could be a fur, it could be something like that, be something so different. So let's go back to our fills, and I could do that all a satin stitch, but that would be boring. Let's go here to our fills, and I love, there is a mermaid scale fill, which I love, this one right here. And I'm going to select that, and I'll select a blue color and go OK. Make sure my bucket is selected, and I'll tap that. Now here's the thing with, and of course you could do a full fill for her face or whatever, but I'm just going to leave that. So here's the thing with the Solaris. I'm then going, first I'll save it to memory just in case, but I'm going to go to next. And then when we go to next, it's going to show me a real preview of what the stitches look like. So this is real time. This is exactly the size they're going to be, exactly how they're going to look. On the Meridian Altair, we have to go one more, we have to hit preview before we see all that. But what's really nice with the Solaris is we can see it after one click. So I think her basket weave looks beautiful at that size, so I'm going to leave it at that size. But I think I want her, her mermaid scales here to be tinier. So what I can do is right through here, I can click, click, click until it gets to her little mermaid scales. Here we go. And I'm going to change the size. Now you can change the size, the offset. You can make them a little more wonky. You can do really whatever you want. This is your baby. But I'm just going to change the size. And let's go to about 65% and say okay, and let's see what it's going to look like. Ooh, sassy. I like it. So if I was happy with her, all I would have to do is hit set and then OK. And now I can embroider her out. But notice I didn't change the size at all inside of the IQ Designer. What if I decide she is way too big after I get out of IQ Designer? So I love showing this feature. I feel like I show it every single video, but it's so fun. So if you have an embroidery design, no matter what embroidery design you have, if you bring it in or if you make it on the machine or bring it in as one of the already built-in designs, you have a special feature. You can go to Edit and Size. And in general, what happens is when you have an embroidery machine, the embroidery machine will only allow you to size your design larger 20% or smaller 10%. And that is because there is not a digitizer built in to most embroidery machines. And when it's making it 20% bigger, it's not adding stitches, or when it's making it 10% smaller, it's not taking away stitches. But since we have these fabulous machines that have a digitizer built in, we can make it do what we want. So let me show you. If you are selected on this little box right here under size, this is your what I call your 2010 button. Right next to that, this little zigzag, if I click that, it's going to ask me, hey, is it okay? I'm going to say okay. This is now my 200% bigger or 60% smaller with what we call stitch recalculation. So if I make it up to 200% larger, it's going to add stitches, hallelujah. Or if I make it if I make it smaller up to 60%, it's going to take away stitches, hallelujah. So with that being said, I've got that selected and I'm going to make her smaller to fit into my 5x7 hoop. And perfect, there she is. And it'll go in there and recalculate all your stitches one of my favorite features on these machines. And yes, it'll do it on the Altair Meridian and your Destiny as well. So if I was happy with her, I would just select OK and select embroidery and stitch her out. Now, those of you who have the Solaris 2 or the Solaris upgraded to a 2, you have the ability to use, and I have to get it ready, 1 second. You have the ability to use the app to send your designs over, or excuse me, send over pictures. So it's under that same app, and you're going to just hit select image under IQ Designer, and let's select this Christmas tree. Oh, you can't really see it. These are my pictures. There's my Christmas tree. Oh, it's not liking that. Embroidery frame cannot be detected. Please try. Oh, well, hold on. Let me select IQ Designer, and let's see if it'll let me do it. Well, I had trouble with this last time I was showing it too, and then I finally figured it out. You know what? It just doesn't like that image. So we'll select the little mermaid that I have right here. So I'm going to select this little mermaid and send it to the machine. She's really cute. So it's telling me, hey, it's sent to your IQ Designer. I am now inside of IQ Designer, and I'm going to go to my leaf, and I'm going to start her out as a line design, so I'll just select line design, and instead of hitting scan, I'm actually going to hit the Wi-Fi symbol, and she's going to be the first one up there. There she is, and now I can hit set. She's super cute. And then I'm going to tell it, because remember on the Solaris we can go ahead and tell it that I want her to be a triple stitch or a single stitch or something like that. Gonna go OK, and there she is, and I'm going to hit set. And again, I can just go through and I can, let's color her in a little bit. So let's make her hair, let's go into our fills. I'm going to give her a red hair, and I'm going to make it a satin, so I'll just make sure my bucket is selected. There we go. And then I will do her flower. Let's do her flower. And we'll just do a pink, and I'll make that satin too, since it's just such a small area. The fun fills, they are really fun, but they're not great for teensy-weensy areas. You won't see a lot. So let's just put a little bit of yellow in the center of her flower. And now I can keep going. So let's make her shells. I guess yellow, I don't know. Oh no! See, what happened is I touched outside the line. What do I do in that instance? Just use your back button. There you go. So I could keep going, but let's give her mermaid scales right here. So we'll go into the fill section, go here, and let's go grab those mermaid shells. And we'll do those a green. Make sure that's selected. There we go. And now let's say I was happy. I know I'm missing a lot, but let's just say I was happy. I'm going to hit next, and let's take a look and see what it looks like. That is kind of cute. Now I might want these smaller, so I'm going to go and zoom through until I find my mermaid scales. There they are. I'm going to make them smaller. Let's just go 50% and see what happens. Oh, so cute. Oh my goodness, that's so cute. So, you know, you can go and really have a lot of fun with this. Okay, so we basically went over everything I wanted to go through. As especially since a lot of you are new to your machine and new to the group. I'm going to turn you around. Sorry, I probably made you sick there. Woo! You're new to your machine, you're new to the group, and just want to make sure that we all have a lot of fun learning our machines. And this is my thing. My thing is, let's turn the light on. We pay a lot of money for our machines, and there are so many awesome functions on them. And especially now during COVID, we can't go to class to teach it. So that's why I wanted to start up the group. So at least I can help you get those creative juices going and have a lot of fun with your machine. So let's see, Birdie says, essentially the same thing. Okay, yeah. So so that's why I'm here, and that's why I decided to make this group. So if you have any questions, go ahead and shoot them out at me right now. That way we can get some questions answered. Is it possible to scan a photo and then embroider it? Yeah, you would have to do it through IQ Designer. Now, a photo, if you're talking about like a photo of my face, it's not going to be super, super great. You really need like software to do that. So you may want to invest into some software for that. But you can try, but yeah. I mean, you can scan in almost anything and do it. So you just might, the thing about it is that, you know, depending on where I'm sitting for my photo, I'm going to have light hitting here. I'm going to have light, if I turn this way, light hitting here, and all those colors. You really need a powerful program to get that right. So, let's go back. Good question, though. Thank you, Louise. Louise, I hope you got the package I sent you. Let's see. Thank you, guys. Okay, Christy asked, she says, I have an Altair. I made 26-inch square wall hanging Christmas tree. I had thought about quilting on my Altair, but wasn't sure how to get it started. Do you have a Yes. Christy, I do. We have some quilting ones where you can quilt and then go and connect them, connect the designs. So yes, there are some videos. I really need to get that up tonight. I need to go get all my typing up and get a list up for you guys of all the classes so you can go back and rewatch them. And remember, if you're new to the group and it's hard to find the previous videos, my last video, which was last Sunday, walks you through on how to find them. Oh, Dory, okay. Okay, so, yeah, good question. Pre-wound bobbins. Okay, so pre-wound bobbins are okay to use for your machine. Yes, they are. However, there's a couple things you need to keep in mind. You need to make sure that they are a class 15 bobbin. So you don't want anything smaller. Otherwise, you're not going to get a great embroidery, and it's just not healthy for your machine. So make sure it's a class 15 bobbin. When that bobbin runs out, and this is my number one thing that I love to explain to people because it's very important. Number one important thing about that is throw away the bobbin when it's done. When it's completely full, do not reuse that bobbin. It is not meant to be reused. You can use the smaller L bobbins. They're the paper wound. However, you need to use this piece that came with your machine. Let me find it real quick. If you're going to use the ones that are they're kind of bound and they look like they're like paper, or on a paper bobbin, they're smaller. You need to drop this little guy into your bobbin case first, and then put the bobbin on top of it. I don't use pre-wound bobbins. I'm kind of a control freak, and I find that my embroidery is better when I wind my bobbins. So it's up to you. It is economical. However, it's a personal choice. I do like to wind my own bobbins. So, and I use finishing touch thread on both my machines, and I do use Class A needles for all 4 of my machines. So good question. Now, I'm gonna amend something with bobbins though. If you happen to own a multi-needle, which is a either the Alliance, the 6 needle, or the 10 needle, I do use the Philtech magnetic bobbins, and those are made specifically for our machines. So those are okay, but those are for the multi-needle machines. It's a good question though. Oh, Mary, cool, yay, congratulations. Thank you, Georgia. How do you get the background color to change from coloring book? The pages are manila color. Ah, Betty, yeah. It shouldn't transfer over to your design. So it shouldn't do that. If it does, then that's not the right design to use. Yeah, sometimes I bring in design and I see that, and until I take it all the way through, that never shows up. So that I'm not sure how I would change it though. Thank you. Okay, Georgia says, I tried scanning a picture. My grandson, but the machine picked up the inconsistencies of the crayon. You can't really, you can go in and erase those little areas, Georgia, but you can't really change that. So you can go in and erase. I mean, that's about all you can do. Thanks. What is a Class A sewing needle? Oh, a Class A. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah. I apologize. That was kind of misleading. Okay. Let me grab my needles and I'll show you. Let me grab a pack so you can see them. I gotta have them sitting up here somewhere. I always do. I always have a pack around somewhere. So Class A needles are, and it does sound like I'm saying Class A, but they're Class A. Aha, here we go. This is the brand that is recommended for yours, but you can use the Schmetz needles as well. But and this is going to be backwards, so I apologize. But it's Class A, so it's KLASSE with a little beep, so maybe it's Class A needles. So yeah, some sewing machines carry them, but it is one of the needles that is, thanks Dawn, it is one of the brands that is suggested for your machine. Okay, I love your sewing machine. Oh, Sharon, good question. That is actually a Bonnie, okay, it's not Bonnie and Camille, but okay, it's Bonnie and Camille fabric. However, the daughter of Bonnie and Camille, and I cannot remember her name right now, it's either Bonnie or Camille, she writes patterns, and it's her pattern. So if you're familiar with Bonnie and Camille fabric, you should be able to find the pattern. I just can't remember the name. I just cannot remember the name of her company, but yeah, it's really cute. It's a brand, LOL. Yeah, Dory, I mean, yeah. The only brand you don't really want to use in your machine is like the Singer brands. You want to be very careful. You want to treat your machine like you would treat a very expensive car. So, servicing, all that, but you want to get the right parts for it. No aftermarket parts. What size do I use? Yeah, good question. So for embroidery, I mostly use, I'm gonna get beat up for this. I mostly use a 7511. If I'm doing like something that has a lot of thick layers, I do use a 90. So yeah. What's the wall hanging above my head? This one right here? I am a huge Harry Potter fan, and so that is Snape, who is my favorite character, with, and someone made that for me, and it's one of my most cherished wall hangings. The other one is, that one was a swap, or what do you call it, quilt along, and I quilted, or we each made a block, and they were women from around the world. There was, however, 2, 4, 6, 8 of us from around the world, and we did a switch, and each of us made these little girls holding hands, and each of us have basically the same thing. It's really amazing. Yeah, that was one of my favorite sew-alongs, because I got to meet these amazing women. After you scan in a simple coloring book drawing, can it be made into an applique using a blanket stitch in lieu of satin? Helen, yes. And I have done, yes, you're just going to do those twice. So let's think of a circle. Okay, so how we make an applique shape is, of course, you need 3 parts. So you need your placement line, your tack down, and then your final stitch line. So let's say you scanned in a circle. You're going to turn that into a regular running stitch. Then you're going to, you can copy that circle and make that the same running stitch. And then you can copy that circle one more time and turn it into a satin or whatever you like to finish it off. I did do a video on that, so I'll make sure, I need to get that up tonight. But very, very, very good question. Yes, yeah, thanks. Where am I located? I am in Florida. I'm in North Florida. Georgia. Okay. I have the attention span of a pea. Literally a pea, like this big. So I never really know what I'm going to do for the next week, next week's class, until about the weekend, because I like to see what everyone's talking about, and so I like to kind of pick up on that to see what's happening that week. So maybe you guys have been talking about, because I follow a lot of groups and I see a lot of y'all in groups, and maybe you're talking about applique, or maybe you're talking about you know, I don't know, something special. And so that way I can always go, okay, well, everyone's talking about that this week. Michelle, how did I get the name for my group? It's a great question. I may cry, so just hang on. But I'll tell you, it's no big deal. It's actually very touching. So last year, I lost my grandmother and my grandfather within 4 months of each other. And my nanny, her name is Louise, and she was the best part of our family. Both of them were the best part of my family. And so her name is Louise. My mother's name is Beverly. And so if I had ever had a little girl, I always wanted to name her. I didn't have kids, but I always wanted to name her BB for my mother, Louise for my nanny. And my sister's middle name is Louise. So when we were at the funeral for my nanny, I knew I was going to start up, you know, my own design, because I was under my friend Hope Yoder for many years, and couldn't come up with a name, so we were, it's silly, but we were all walking away from the gravesite, and I look at my mom and my niece, and everybody's walking with me, and I said, we were just talking about my nanny, and like, well, she's with us forever. And so I said, that's it, forever BB Louise, and so it has a very special meaning, because yeah, just because it's a family thing. So thanks for asking. I don't mind telling the story at all. So it just makes me sad because she was both my grandparents were such a neat part of our life. So, and my mom and my sister and my nieces are also wonderful. And we're a group of girls. There's no boys in our family, so we kind of run the roost. My poor dad and our poor husbands. So, but yeah, thanks for asking. It's a good question. Lost my mom too. Yeah, Dory, it's tough, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks so much. she would be proud. They would both be very proud. So, thanks. Thanks. And I know my mom's proud of me. She tells me all the time, so at least I know that. So, thank you. But yeah, so, oh, you guys are so sweet. Thanks for making me feel good. Yeah, well, I am a wonderful, I do have, this is my child. So I tried to show her at least once Lacey. Lacey. Where's Lacey? There she is. That's my child. She's the foreman. She keeps me working. So love my child. So, but well, I hope you guys had learned something today. And of course, if you ever have a question, go ahead, post it up. I'll get to it as soon as I can. Also, hi baby, she's a spoiled rotten baby. If you have a question about anything on your machines, make sure to post it up on the group. Post what you're doing. You guys know that I love to see. Let me put this thing down. I'm just making noise. Love to see what you're making. You guys make some amazing stuff, and I love getting inspiration from you, and I hope you're getting inspiration from me. So I want to make sure that you guys are learning as much as you can about your machine. And so yeah, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week, and we will join back up, same bat time, same bat place here next week, and I'll get some things posted up for you because of all the questions you had. So thanks for coming, and I will see y'all soon. Remember to shop local, shop small. Bye, guys.